Continue in less than 3 minutes as the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues after this.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Menards carries the largest in-stock selection of appliances. Discover the Criterion Advantage with a pair of laundry appliances with great features, great quality, and a great price. The top-load washer has 8 preset cycles and can handle family-size laundry loads. The dryer is equipped with Wrinkle Prevent and Sensor Dry, which automatically stops cycles when clothes are dry, saving time and money. They're $4.49 each after $100 mail-in rebate. See store for details. Prices good through February 6th.
Save big money at Menards.
Attorney Tom McIntyre.
Life. It may knock you down, but you don't have to stay that way. I'm Tom McIntyre. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, and I'm here to help you. Give us a call, and we'll send you a copy of my free book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. It's an interesting read, and it'll explain bankruptcy to you like no other book does. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Call Thomas E. McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
The new year is here, and so are the new Toyotas. So visit your dealer and reserve yours today. Like the all-new Tundra, redesigned from the ground up and engineered for uncompromising power. Or explore the brand new Corolla Cross with available all-wheel drive and more cargo room than ever. Visit your Toyota dealer today or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Hurry, offers end January 31st. Toyota, let's go places.
Joe Manchin delivered on a bipartisan infrastructure plan to expand statewide high-speed internet, repair our roads and bridges, and create thousands of West Virginia jobs. Now Joe's working to responsibly put money in our pockets to fight inflation without busting the budget. Manchin's compromise plan would cut taxes for working people, create universal pre-kindergarten, cut health care costs, deliver millions to rebuild rural towns across our state, and create even more good-paying jobs for West Virginia. All paid for by millionaires and big corporations with no new taxes for us, while the rich and powerful finally pay their fair share. Joe Manchin, making Washington spend wisely, and as always, putting West Virginia first. Paid for by West Virginia Strong to encourage Senator Manchin to continue to negotiate the best deal for our state.
More live and local programming than anyone else in the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog returns in moments.
Hello, everyone, from the Watchdog. I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Monday. Mostly cloudy skies, a few snowflakes, a daytime high of 32 degrees. Overnight low down to about 20 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. You'll see cloudier conditions around for your Tuesday, with perhaps a few early morning snow flurries. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
I'm not a Monday guy.
I'm not crazy about it either. I also don't like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
Are you ready to go?
I'm warning you, I'm seriously stressed out here.
You always drink like this so early in the morning?
Isn't it a bit early in the day for the bottle? Even for you?
Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
Make the radio call.
It's time to get up.
It's time to hear that pop.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
We are go for live.
Live from the Robinson Auto Group studios, this is the Valley's longest-running morning show, the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe from WKKX and WVLY.
16 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 14 degrees here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 14 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. The temperature, there's not a lot of wind out there, so the feels like temperature is just about what it is right now. That's the good news. So we're roaming around 14, 15 degrees, and we had some snow over the weekend. We're going to have some more snow today. Yes, more snow is coming today. Winter, in case you were, a couple of weeks ago going, gee, I wonder when winter's coming. Well, it's been here, and it's apparently going to stay here for a while. Any trouble coming in this morning, Biff?
No problems. It was mainly slushy. Not a whole lot. The only trouble this morning was where parts of the road were kind of maybe got like a coating. The lines are starting to fade, so it was basically follow the tracks that had been there before and try and kind of follow them, because the double yellow lines and the white lines on the side were kind of hard to figure out. But other than that, it wasn't too bad of a drive in this morning. No problems.
It wasn't a bad. I mean, it was a good snowy weekend. A good snowy Sunday, I guess it was yesterday. Did it seem to you this snow snuck up on us though, compared to last weekend? I mean, last weekend's snow, we were talking about it for days and days. It was, and then the change last weekend, it was, it could be 1 to 3, 4 to 8, 10 to 12. Who knew? But it seemed like we kind of saw it coming. Didn't have all the details, but saw it coming. At least for me, this weekend kind of snuck up on me. Did it sneak up on you, do you think?
I don't think it snuck up. I think it was more of a kind of a late notice, really, because if you looked on the normally I go to weather.gov, which for the weather, and I looked, and they had an advisory, winter weather advisory out for Sunday, and I'm thinking, well, that's kind of weird, because I hadn't seen anything yet on the news or anything like that, and finally I think at some point Saturday it was out for what to expect for Sunday. So I think if anything it may have been a late notice, but I kind of had some type of idea. Okay, something's going to happen. It's just how much is it, and what's the timing and the amount that we're going to get. So, yeah, I mean, I kind of had an idea, but man, the notice on it was certainly late. I'll say that.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention, and that's always possible. We had two of the kids who were with us all weekend long. My youngest son and his lady had gone out of town to be in a wedding, so Ariana, the little girl, was with us. Teddy was here because Ariana was here. Teddy said, "I will be at your house all weekend, Granddad," because when his cousin is here, he intends to be here. So it was, we devoted all weekend to the kids. So I wasn't scanning the news wires and weather stuff the way I normally do. But I woke up on Saturday morning, checked my phone, and I had a text from the church in Dillonvale that I preach at, and they said, "Oh, big snow coming tomorrow. I think we're going to cancel." I was like, "What? Big snow? What?" So I looked around and said, "Yeah, I guess there is snow coming." So it wasn't in the morning the way the first thought, but it was a good snow. And the kids got out to play yesterday. That was a good thing. They got out. They went sled riding down the hill in our backyard, and they made snow angels and snowmen, and just had a ton of fun. And they had Teddy had a big a tire biffy, just an inflatable inner tube, basically, right, to go down the hill in. And he was holding it. It's bigger than he was. He was holding it in his hands, get ready to go outside. And I said, "Teddy, could Granddad go down in that inner tube with you? Could Granddad use that too?" He said, "Oh, no, Granddad, you can't do that." I said, well, why couldn't I go down? He goes, "Granddad, we only have 2 patches for this." I guess he figured I was gonna pop it out more than one time. So I did not get to go down the hill. And I said to him, "You're making a snow angel." So he was doing a great job making a snow angel. The dog in the next yard was watching him. He goes, "Tasha, watch me make snow angels." It was so cute. I said, "Teddy, Granddad's going to make one with you." He goes, "Granddad, you get down on the ground and you will never get up again." So,
he's quite observant, isn't he?
He's reached that point. He knows. And it's not, he doesn't say critically or mean or nasty. It's a matter of fact. "Can I go down in your inner tube?" "Oh, we only have 2 patches."
Hey, at least he tells it like it is. He doesn't sugarcoat it for you.
Absolutely. Anyway, we'll have all the details coming up with Aaron a little bit later on this morning. The basic story is we are going to look for some additional snow showers this afternoon. Aaron is saying maybe 1 to 2 inches additional possible late afternoon going into the evening. Daytime high today will be right around freezing. Again, right now it's 16 at the airport, 14 here in the downtown areas. What do we have coming up today? Well, yet again, it is a snow day for many students. Yet another week of winter, coming off a winter weekend, I guess. We'll check in with Aaron, all the details coming up in a bit. Boy, Biff, a great weekend for playoff football. Holy mackerel.
Yeah, that's one weekend where I don't remember 4 games that came down to the final play, and one went into overtime, and just a great week of NFL football, which gets us into the conference championship rounds now.
Steelers aren't in it. I'm not that big. I don't care all that much. I really didn't pay any attention. I had no interest in watching the games. But they were on, and I was kind of half sleeping because the kids just left. It had been a long weekend, and I had to get up and watch everything. They were just great games. We'll talk about those coming up in a couple of minutes. Elsewhere, Republican leadership in West Virginia, and we've talked about this here on the show, is once again trying to usurp the authority of cities and school boards and other elected groups that are close to the citizens. And instead, the state wants to set the power in the legislature. They want to run everything, have all the power. I've got Wheeling's mayor coming in to offer some thoughts on that. The debate on school mask mandates continuing in West Virginia. There's a House bill continuing to move its way through that would prohibit any mask mandates. A lot of pushback on that from some school systems. We'll get into that. Wheeling Police issued their crime stats late last week. They say what they call Group A, or more serious crimes, robberies, murders, that kind of stuff. Group A crimes were down last year. That's good. But Group B crimes, the quality of life crimes, were up a little bit. Chief Sean Schwartzfeger is going to be with us to review the numbers a little bit later on this morning. On the lighter side, Biff, I know I've asked this, I can't remember. Do you watch Jeopardy at all on TV?
I used to, but it's been a while since I've watched it.
There's a new Jeopardy champion. Amy Schneider is the new champion. She wins every single night, and by gigantic margins. It's like, well, Amy, I see you have $45,000. Bob has $2. It's just, she just wins and wins and wins and wins. She's entertaining. She's fun. She's a nice lady. But some people are saying it's getting boring. And I'm beginning to think that. So we'll have on the lighter side of life, should Jeopardy just let people win and win and win and win and win? Because at some point, don't you go, why am I bothering to watch? He wins all the time. We will talk about that coming up later on this morning as well. So that's a lot of what I have to offer you. What do you have to offer me? 304-214-1600. 304-214-1600. It is the Watchdog Radio Network text line. Use it at any time the mood strikes you. The CityNet hotline is also available, 304-232-8255, 304-232-TALK. We'll take a little review of the weekend playoff games coming up next here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 7:20.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally.
You have those 4 football cuts? Okay, we'll do it and just, we'll play them and talk about the games whenever, whatever strikes your head, just go ahead and talk about them. We'll just work our way through from the first one down to the last one. Okie dokie.
Save big money at Menards.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
You're never too far from the most local programming in the Ohio Valley. Find us here. AM 1600 and 1370. FM 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog. The Watchdog.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
16 and cloudy at the airport, 14 and cloudy here at my home studios and at the Robinson Auto Group Studios. Downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. High of 32, more snow, maybe an inch or two coming this afternoon. 7:24 on the Monday edition of the Watchdog Morning Show. I'm not a gigantic football fan in general. I follow teams, not the sport. So I wasn't overly invested in planning to watch the playoff games this weekend. But man, Biff, I couldn't help but get sucked into them. I mean, every one of the games came pretty much down to the wire, didn't they?
Yeah, 3 of the games came down to a last-second field goal, and one game, the Bills and the Chiefs went into overtime after probably one of the most craziest 2-minute finishes, at least I can remember seeing.
I mean, it was just the Kansas City Buffalo game was just absolutely amazing. How quickly the score got right up to being tied, then that final field goal to tying it, and then into overtime. I mean, it was a doozy. Chiefs won that finally, 42-36. Chiefs, by the way, I think were the only home team to win this weekend. But they ended regulation tied at 36, and then the Chiefs went on to win it with this call from their radio network.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelsey. And the Chiefs have won this incredible divisional playoff game in overtime.
I'm not sure. I think he was excited.
Maybe a little.
The Chiefs will host the Bengals in the AFC Championship game now this coming Sunday. That was, at least to me, that game was probably the best, the most exciting, the most fun game to watch all weekend long. Would you agree, Biff? Or the others are pretty good too, but that to me was just. Well, I mean, that's one for the history books.
If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you thought you had that game won twice. I mean, Buffalo scores to take the lead. Kansas City goes right back down, scores again. Buffalo scores with 13 seconds left, and you're thinking Kansas City needing a field goal to tie it, and you're thinking 13 seconds. I mean, there's no way, even with the timeouts, that Kansas City comes back and even gets in field goal range. But if you're in Buffalo this morning, and Buffalo radio this morning has to be questioning the defensive calls late in that game. You've got Patrick Mahomes, who it doesn't matter how much time you leave him. You know who they're going to throw the ball to. You know what they're going to do. And what does Buffalo do? They play a prevent defense. And what does a prevent defense prevent you from doing? It prevents you from advancing to the AFC Championship game. So if I'm in Buffalo this morning, they've got to be going crazy and just wondering why. Why do you play the defense that you played? How do you let Kansas City basically just drive down like it was nothing to get into field goal range? And Kansas City's kicker is pretty good. But earlier, he had missed not only an extra point, but a field goal right before halftime. And kickers they're kind of like goaltenders in hockey and closers in baseball. They're a different type of breed. So but give the Butker, the Chiefs kicker, give him credit. He put the 2 misses behind him and kicked a field goal to tie it. But, man, if I'm in Buffalo right now or I'm a Bills fan, there's a lot of questions that need answered.
There was a little bit of buzz on the internet last night afterwards, as there frequently is when there's a tie, about the NFL needing to change their rules for overtime, for a tie going into overtime. Basically, first team to score wins, right?
Yes, what they do, they in playoff overtime, it's kind of like the regular season, but they put 15 minutes on the clock in overtime, which is the regular quarter, and the game ends on if a team either scores a touchdown or a safety, then the game's over. The other team does not get the ball. So, and again, this happened, as a matter of fact, it happened to Kansas City, if you remember, 3 years ago, I believe, 3 or 4, when Tom Brady was the quarterback for the Patriots. They went into Kansas City, the same thing happened, and I think New England may have actually won the coin toss. They got the ball. They drove right down the field and scored. Patrick Mahomes didn't get a chance to touch the ball. You heard the same thing 3 or 4 years ago, and here we are again. We see the same thing last night. Allen, the quarterback for Buffalo, he didn't get a chance to go back out and try and, match the Chiefs' drive. So I don't know if the NFL in the offseason is going to look at that, changing that rule. I saw where some people were saying, you put the 15 minutes on the clock and just let the whole 15 minutes play out. Basically, you play another whole quarter, and whatever happens at the end of that quarter, that's how you decide the winner. But, I mean, you see a little bit of that. I don't know what you could do in the playoffs to change it, but this certainly isn't the first time that it's happened.
I mean, I can understand the frustration people have. It seems as if somehow you ought to work at that each team at least gets a shot at offense, right? I mean, that's what a lot of the internet chatter was about last night, and has been other times in the past when we've had these kind of games as well. Couple of tweets. The overtime rules stink. Both offenses should have a chance to compete. Man, the Bills deserve a shot in OT. They got to change the overtime rules. The overtime rule for playoff games must change. If this one doesn't spark a more fair approach, nothing ever will. Some of the tweets from last night, and it does seem to me that, I mean, I get the first blood concept too, but it just seems like both teams ought to at least. I mean, we're talking about a championship game here. It seems to me both teams ought to at least have a shot. But I don't know whether this is enough to make people as in the NFL leadership change that or not. I just don't know.
Think if you're Kansas City, though, you've been on both sides of it, though.
Right, exactly.
You were on the good side last night, where, hey, it worked in our favor. And then 3-4 years ago, you were on the bad side of it, where Tom Brady beat you, and you don't get a chance to go out on the field. So it's kind of one of those deals where, yeah, it's worked for you and it's worked against you, but I don't know if the competition committee will at least try and change the way they do it in the playoffs. Actually, I hope they look at the regular season too, because I think that should change. Mm-hmm. I've always thought the NFL should adopt some type of style, maybe not the exact style that college football uses, but the old style before they did all this junk that they're doing now. But the old college football way that they did overtime, maybe the NFL could use that as a template and try and work it so that at least in the regular season, it's a little bit better, and then have one for the playoffs. But yeah, I don't know if it'll be something that the NFL needs to look at, but maybe it should.
But your point about the fact that Kansas City's been on both sides of this makes a good point. It's okay, it works, and here's a good example of it. Kansas City is on the wrong side one time, the right side another time. So, it's just the system. I don't know. But I suspect there will be a lot more talk about it, and probably a lot of talk about it today on the various sports talk shows and so on. Let's do a quick wrap up of the other ones because they all were pretty wild finishes. The Rams were leading the Buccaneers 27-3 in the third quarter. 27-3, Rams ahead. 43 seconds left in the game. Bucks tied the game in a 4th and 1 situation. After they scored the TD and extra point, they had a long pass play, set up a winning field goal as well. Here's a sort of time-elapsed version of the events from their network last night. Maybe.
You know what? Let me see if I can do it this way. Not gonna play for me.
Okay. Well, I have 3 more cuts, but you know what?
Yeah,
we seem to be striking out, so...
You know what, Howard? Actually, it's not on our end this time, actually. There's a problem with the Wise Brother feed.
Okay. All right. Well, we will call it. I had a few more things to use. We got the most interesting of them in, which was the Kansas City Buffalo game. So we got that in, and we'll let the other. I thought we had 3 more, but we'll just let them go. 7:35, 25 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Snowy morning. Most, I won't say all because I haven't looked, counted, but I think most people are again, Biffy. Most kids are on a snow day of some kind or another. And more snow is coming later today. So we'll check in with Aaron. He's coming up in a minute or two. We'll check the headlines right now from the Big 7 over at WTRF TV. 7:35, 25 till the hour, 16 degrees at the airport.
Now it's time for your local...
Okie dokie. Okie dokie. All righty then. Let's hope this is not the beginning of a day full of problems. Jeez. Mayor Elliott at 8:15 and Chief Schwartzfeger at 9:15. That's great. Now the question is it Wise Brother or is it something in our studio, our internet?
Metro News Sports, good morning. I'm Kyle Wiggs. Mountaineers endured that very difficult...
today. Or go online to buyatoyota.com, the official website for deals. Hurry, offers end January 31st. Toyota, let's go places.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Attorney Tom McIntyre.
Life. It may knock you down, but you don't have to stay that way. I'm Tom McIntyre. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, and I'm here to help you. Give us a call, and we'll send you a copy of my free book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. It's an interesting read, and it'll explain bankruptcy to you like no other book does. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Call Thomas E. McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
Every weeknight at 6 p.m., join the voice of the Mountaineers, Tony Caridi, on The Watchdog. Tony informs and entertains WVU fans with the latest Mountaineer sports news. If it happens in the world of gold and blue, Tony knows about it and shares it with you. Sportsline, weeknights at 6 on The Watchdog.
Great conversation continues now on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Hey, what I just want this whole COVID thing to be over and done with, not to be worrying about it anymore. I want to never again have a discussion about mask mandates or vaccinations or people who are in hospitals and dying. That's what I want. Just bring it over, get it done. Dr. Fauci over the weekend said that he is, quote, as confident as he can be that the Omicron virus will peak in mid-February. Of course, the problem is we had Delta, and then it came and went. We got Omicron. Will it peak in mid-February? What comes next? Who knows? I got a COVID update for you coming up a little bit later on this morning. It is a cold morning, not as cold as we had all of last week, but it's a cold morning. Not going to be a greatly warm day. Greatly warm? Did I say greatly warm? Okay, I'm not sure quite what greatly warm means, but anyways, it's going to be still a cold morning and some more snow coming. Let's talk about it all with Aaron Myler from the Big 7 over at WTRF TV. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Did this weekend did this snowstorm that we had yesterday, and it was nice, it was good. We had a lot of good snowman making weather and kind of stuff. A little bit of trouble on the roads, not a huge amount, but did this kind of catch us by surprise? I didn't realize it was coming until it was here.
Yeah, so I think I was saying on Friday, we were expecting to see an inch. That was about the general area we were looking at that point, and just how everything moved around with the temperatures and whatnot. We got, like I said, 2 to 3. So I started saying that Saturday, so I didn't talk to you since then. But yeah, it's just how it shifted around. We just got a little bit more than we were expecting at that point in time. So not like, again, anything crazy. We got 2 to 3 inches across the region. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't one that we were forecasting that amount of snow on Friday. So it kind of came Saturday with how it moved around that we got. We got a little bit more. But again, I mean, like 1 inch, 2 to 3 inches. It's definitely more, but luckily it's not 9 inches like last week.
I just think, last week, it seemed like we had a good bit of advance warning. We talked a lot about it. Well, it depends on which way the warm pressure lands, exactly how much we'll get. It seemed like we talked about it for days before the storm came, but we knew it was going to be a doozy. And honestly, I didn't even realize it was going to snow this weekend until I told the audience. I woke up Saturday morning, and church I preach at in Dillonvale sent me a note saying, we're going to see some snow tomorrow. I think we're going to cancel. It's like, what? Where did this come from? It just sort of snuck up on us compared to last weekend.
Yeah, I think also it's just something about, like, I was actually just talking about this morning with Stephanie and Steven. It's funny how when we first get snowfall, like I think it was...
Yes.
What was it, like a few weeks ago, we had just like, I think it was, we got 1.7 inches, and people were losing their minds, and it was just like, roads were terrible. People were like, have you seen The Office, that TV show?
Yeah.
There's that one thing with the fire, there's a fire drill, and everybody's going crazy. And it turned into that, and I was just like, we're not getting like any snow. Why are we freaking out? And then I think it's just because we had the big one, we talked about it for a long time, so it feels like everything after that, it just feels less important for, because like 2 to 3 yesterday, or another 1 to 2 later on today. So it's just like, I think once we get past the first one that like falls, and then we get past, like it's like the first snowflakes of the year, that's a big story. The first snow that sticks to the ground, big story. The first huge snow of the year, big story. But it's like, I mean, 2 to 3 inches, or like today 1 to 2. It's like downhill after 9. It's 9 to 13.
It's just another winter weekend at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's like, part of the thing is like, yes, it was a little, like I said, it was a little bit more than we were expecting at first, but I think it's also just like, we get, I don't know, there's a word for it, I forget, but we just get used to seeing snow, and it's like, only 1 to 2.
Well, and I didn't hear as much bread and milk, bread and milk, bread and milk this weekend as I did last weekend. People's like,
yeah,
okay, well, snow's coming. Yeah, we'll be ready. You're right. I think the first big snow, which was last weekend, you all we have to get bread and milk. We gotta hunker down, get inside, get our emergency kits, be prepared. Oh, here comes winter. And then we've gone through it. And now, A, it's not nearly as big as last weekend anyways, and B, we're like, yeah, okay, now we remember it's winter, so okay. It's just winter.
Mother Nature came to wake us up, and now we're just waiting to get through it.
Right. We do have more snow coming today, though. Is that right?
Yeah, so we're looking at some snow starting late this afternoon, going through the evening. We're looking at mainly 1 to 2 inches down in Tyler and Wetzel and parts of Monroe. It's going to really be like a sharp cutoff down there, so that moves around. It could mess with your snow totals, but it's looking like it's going to stay right along the Marshall-Wetzel border, that general area, where it'll taper off just a bit more. So yeah, 1 to 2 inches, so really not that much in the grand scheme of things again. So, I mean, a little bit more, a little coating for tomorrow, but I mean, the roads already we had 2 to 3 last night. They look great. I mean, I'm sure they're not all perfect, but from what I saw so far, the roads look perfect. Well, not perfect, but great for what we got. So I think we should be
Yesterday was good playing weather, too. The kids got out and played in the snow, did some sled riding, did some snowball throwing and some snowman making. It was good playing snow weather yesterday, too.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, it was pretty. It was like those larger flakes, where you can also see the flakes like getting trapped together, like stuck to each other, and that just is really pretty. It's like it looks nice. I think I like 2 to 3 inches is the amount of snow that I like, because it's enough to have fun in, and then like look at. It's enough to look at, and it makes it pretty, but it doesn't really mess up your roads dramatically.
So a couple more today that'll come in late afternoon, early evening. Is that the timing we're looking at now?
We're looking just in the afternoon, probably around like 2 o'clock. We could start to see it.
Okay.
and then it'll move into through the afternoon and the evening. You could see a few flurries tomorrow morning, but I really do mean flurries when I say that, not expecting much. So just a couple flurries start tomorrow. The main thing after the snow today, but like I said, today's snow probably, it's like after you get 9 inches, and like I said, some people off Soaring North got 13 last week. After you get 13 inches of snow, 1 inch is like, that's it. So
yeah, you're right.
It's like at that point, it's like we got like 2 to 3. Like I got 3 in my area. A lot of us got 3 here in Wheeling, and it's like, oh, okay, whatever. It's not really bothering anyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. But so tonight won't seem like much. The main thing you'll notice changing here shortly is just going to be it's going to get cold as we get into Wednesday again. So like throughout we'll see it. Things cooler tomorrow, but then we get to Wednesday. High temperature on Wednesday is 20 degrees. Low temperatures on Wednesday and Thursday morning. Those mornings will both be back to that like bitter cold that we saw last week, where it was like negative feels like temperatures. Right. We're going to be right around 0 again on Wednesday and Thursday morning. So we could see some